everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. Please invite your friends and share the link as much as you can. This video will not stay for long in my channel, just to let you know, so you better download it after we finish. As you know here, what we do, we refute Islam. And today, our topic is Deedat, which the Muslim, they think that he is a big shot, and we will show you that Deedat is nothing but an ignorant. A person, he came to Deedat and he asked him a question. The man asked him, why in the Quran there's a contradiction about how Allah, he created the earth and the heaven? One verse says that Allah created the earth and the heaven in 6 days, and one verse says that Allah created the earth and the heaven in 8 days. So which one is the correct one? All right? Let us see the answer.
I'm answering that brother there. I said, this was the first question tonight by God. He said, you see the Quran, we mentioned in the Quran just now, I read to you that the Bible says that God created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. The Quran says created in 6 days. The days are, we won't go into details, 6 days, 6 days. He quotes another chapter, chapter 41, verses so and so, 9, 10, 11, 12. He said, it says, God created the heavens and the earth in 8 days. Now, he hasn't read. He's reading, thumb-sucking from somebody. Somebody told him so, and he uttered the words. If he saw the Quran doesn't say anywhere that God created the heavens and the earth in 8 days. Never. No.
Okay. You see how they make a mockery? The Quran nowhere says Allah created the earth and the heaven in 8 days. But this is not the question. There's a contradiction. If we calculate them, they will come to be 8. Yes, this is a contradiction. You say the Quran says the earth and heaven created in 6 days, and then when we look, we will find that they are not 6 days, they are 8 days. This is the question. He's not asking you why the numbers of the creation of the Quran, of the earth and the heaven, is 8 days. Listen carefully.
There is some basis for his question. The Quran doesn't say. You see, like what I said, 1, none. That's a contradiction. 4 or 40, that's a contradiction. If the Quran said 6, 8, also contradiction, we'll have to admit. But the Quran doesn't talk like that at all. It doesn't talk like that at all. You see, he's tongue-sucking from what somebody said. He doesn't know. If I give him the Quran, he can never find it.
That has got you busted. This is a chapter 41, verse number 9 and 10. Does it really say, is it really true that we cannot find it, or this guy is a liar? Read carefully with me and laugh at the liars. And you can tell me any translation you wish, by the way. Any translation, all of them. For me, I do not need to read translation. For me, I have it in Arabic in front of me. It says it clearly, خلق الأرض في يومين وتجعلون له أندادا ذلك رب العالمين وجعل فيها رواسي من فوقها وبارك فيها وقدر فيها أقواتها في 4 أيام سواء للسائلين. Translation. Your translation, Muslim, not mine, which is nothing but fabrication. You said if you read the Quran, you will never find that. What a scam. Read carefully. Do you indeed disbelieve him and the sign compared to him who created the earth in 2 days? He created what? The earth in 2 days. He continues saying, after creating the earth, he set up firm mountains on it. The Quran teach that the mountains are something set up in the top of the earth, which is very foolish, because the mountains are coming from inside the earth, not something you place in the top of the earth. And then he provide with substance, assistance, and partition to the needs of all who seek, like, water, trees, etc., grass. So let us see how many days? And that all was done in 4 days. The Muslims here, they add saying here, all was done in 4 days. The earth created in 2 days. The verse after it, Allah explaining what He did after He created the earth in 4 days. So the total now is 6 days already. Then the verse after it says, after He finished stage number 1, which is creating the earth, and then creating the mountains and the substance and the top of the earth, which took 4 days, then He turned to the sky, and the sky was a smoke, which means was nothing. And then He made the earth, the heaven, 7 heaven in 2 days. The total is 8. So what that deception is, you will never find anywhere in the Quran it says that Allah created the earth in 8 days. We do not need it to say. It's clear. The Muslim, they try to defend, they say to you, oh no, here He's saying 4 days, which means everything took 4 days. That will not be true. And we can get that busted easy. Because if everything took 4 days, you do not need to say we created the earth in 2 days. You can say, cite chapter number 10 and number 9 together. And remember, by the way, the verse, when Muhammad, he said those verses are not exist. Number 9 and 10, this is the Muslim trying to copy from the Bible to organize the Quran. There was no 9, there's no 10, there's no 11, there's no 14. This is all later fabrication of the Muslims, trying to make it look like the Bible. Just take that into your consideration, which means this is a continuous speech. So tell them, O Prophet, indeed, that we have created the earth in 2 days. And after that, after creating the earth, so the earth is done. So what the second stage? The second stage done in 4 days. So now what we have a stage A, creating the earth, stage B, creating what in the earth, stage C, creating the sky. The total is 8. Now, how we can get them more busted to say that this is what happened, that the God of Islam, before He moved to the heaven, He was working for 6 days on earth. Who is more knowledgeable about Islam, Muhammad or Deedat? This is a question I give it to the Muslims. Who of you Muslims more knowledgeable about what Quran is saying, you or your Prophet? If we go to the hadith, we will find Muhammad saying the following, confirming what is written here. This is a Sahih hadith in Sahih Muslim. Take a note. They cannot say this is weak. And actually the Muslims, they have a lot of argument about this hadith, but at the end of the day they confirm that they cannot deny that this is a Sahih hadith. Look what Muhammad said. Muhammad, he got Deedat busted, Abdul busted, Islam busted, and nobody can defend Islam no more. Unless you want to say to me that your Prophet, he is stupid, he do not know what the Quran is teaching, and he himself, he don't understand. And you understand the Quran better than him. Muhammad said, Allah the Exalted, the Glorious Creator. Who is talking? Allah Messenger. Who is reporting? Abu Huraira. Abu Huraira is from the most trustworthy reported of hadith in the history of Islam. So they cannot say it's a lie. This is Abu Huraira. And Abu Huraira here is not copying from somebody else. Abu Huraira is a first-hand witness. Muhammad, he took his hand when he talked, which is very funny and weird. Allah Messenger took my hand. He held my hands and said. So he is not hearing this from somebody else. He heard it directly from Muhammad. Allah the Exalted, the Glorious, created the clay on Saturday. So this is day number 1. Take a note, Abdul. This is day number 1. And then he created the mountains in Sunday. This is day number 2. Created the trees on Monday. This is day number 3. And then he created all things entire in labor in Tuesday. And this is day number 4. And then he created the light in Wednesday. And this is day number 5. And then he caused animals to spread on Thursday. Do you see it? This is day number 6. Until now, he did not go to heaven. Until now, he's just walking on earth. And then he created Adam in a Friday afternoon. Total is 7 days. But we will focus in the creation of the earth now. We will forget about the creation of Adam. So we will take the day number 7, which is stupid of Muhammad to say, because that will make it funny. So we will count only the 6 days. As you see, Allah here is just working on the earth. So when Deedat he lie, he says, nowhere, nowhere. Do you see it, Muslims? Muhammad, he is saying here clearly that Allah, he spent 6 days working in the earth. So chapter 41, verse number 9 and verse number 10 is in total agreement with this hadith. But it is a contradiction with other verses in the Quran where Allah, he says that he created the earth and the heaven in 6 days. So when this Indian man, he asked Deedat a question about why this is a contradiction, and Deedat, he denied that there is nowhere in the Quran it says that. You are a big fat liar. As you see, so now 2 days after he finished the earth, this is totally already 6 days. After that, we have 2 days more to he create and finish the heaven, as we see in the Quran in verse number 11 and 12. So this is what we notice about the Muslims. In order to refute us, they have to deceive us. They cannot refute us with dignity and honesty. We have to play the game of deception, for we belong to the God of deception. Otherwise, I challenge Deedat to say why he is lying. I mean, do he understand the Quran more than his prophet? Do this Abdul understand what Quran is saying more than his prophet? Here we go. Don't tell me that Deedat, he never heard this before. Actually, obviously, he never heard this before. Because I remember Deedat, yesterday, a Muslim, he called us, he asked me the same question Deedat he asked. Deedat once, he said, in my debate, he said, your Bible says that the sun was created in the 4th day. So the earth was without light for 4 days. But this is what his prophet said. As you see in front of you, the light was created in Wednesday. Who is saying that? Muhammad. So the Muslims always assume that you are a foolish man who do not know anything. You are ignorant. You have no education. Our Bible says that the first thing God created, he said, let be light. And he called light day. Before he created even the sun, he have light already. He created light. So nowhere in the Bible it says there was no light. But here, as we see, this is in your prophet explanation, that the first thing he created the clay and then the animals and etc. and then, or trees, sorry, the animal is after, the trees and the substance, as you see, all of this, and then at the end, in stage number 6, he created the animals, and the last stage he created Adam in the day number 7. So they lie to us in order to deceive us, because there is no dignity, there's no honesty, only stupidity. Join us again after 5 minutes, and we will be with you, getting them busted as usual. Thank you very much, and see you soon.